Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and white-tailed deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today.
Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie. It's Monday, October 23rd.
And today we're going to be recapping the Millennium Futurity and sale, which happened this past weekend in Lexington, Kentucky. So Jamie, you were there. I think maybe the most important question is, who went home with the Millennium Rooster?
Yeah, Chase was definitely very excited to get rid of this rooster. But the rooster, the new home for the rooster this coming year is Barb and Jason Shigoda, 3P Longhorns. So I don't think they were expecting to get it at all. I think Barb was kind of shocked when her name was called, but that's where it's going to live for the next year.
And for those folks who maybe aren't familiar, it's it's a metal resin. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's a big rooster statue that can be carried around with them. Shigodas, if you're listening, we expect to see lots of pictures of little Brent Frank and all of your adventures this year.
I'm sure Barb will do a really good job of promoting him this year. There's also a Facebook page dedicated to little Brent Frank, so be sure to go follow it.
Should we jump into the high sellers and the most viewed animal?
Sure.
All right. You want to take lot one or you want me to take it?
I can go. So the number one highest selling lot overall was lot 28, BCR Fin to Win 201, which was consigned by Bull Creek Ranch, who sold for $25,000 to Grant Brightman with RTG Ranch. The number one most viewed animal before the sale was lot 10, KC All In, consigned by Circle K Ranch. And fun fact, the number 5 most viewed animal before the sale, BCR Flynn to Win, she ended up being the highest selling overall lot.
The second highest selling lot overall was lot number 5, HL All Dolled Up, consigned by Hudson Longhorns, and she sold for $23,000 to Trampus Cook. The second most viewed animal before the sale was lot number 5, HL All Dolled Up, consigned by Hudson Longhorns. Okay. And another fun fact, the number 2 viewed animal before the sale, HL All Dolled Up, that I just mentioned, she also matched as the second high seller overall. So she held that number 2 spot pretty strong this week.
The number 3 highest selling lot overall was lot 1, YR Cajun Flair, who was consigned by Young Ranch, and she sold for $8,000. The number 3 most viewed animal before the sale was lot 21, M7 Top Becca, and she was consigned by M7 Longhorns. So the number 3 most viewed animal before the sale, the M7 Top Becca, ended up being the highest selling lot sold via Hired Hand Live for $4,250.
The number 4 highest selling lot overall was lot number 10, CK All-in-One, consigned by Circle K Ranch, and she sold for $8,000 to Kurt and Glenda Twining. The 4th most viewed animal before the sale was lot number 14, M7 Hydro Shadow, consigned by M7 Longhorns. And we have a couple of fun facts on this number 4 spot here. So the number 1 most viewed animal before the sale, CK All-in-One, sold as the 4th highest lot overall. And the number 4th most viewed animal before the sale, M7 Hydro Shadow, ended up being the 2nd highest selling lot sold on Hired Hand Live for $4,000.
And rounding out this list at number 5 was lot 7, BCR Oceana 215, which was consigned by Bull Creek Ranch and sold for $6,750 to Daryl Presley. The number 5 most viewed animal before the sale was lot 28, BCR Flynn to Win 201, consigned by Bull Creek Ranch.
Now let's highlight a few of the general sale results. 28 out of 30 lots sold for an unofficial total of $130,900, and an unofficial average of $4,675. There were 0 scratches and only 2 POs.
With this being the 26th sale of 2023 to be included in our Hired Hand Live trends and averages, the 2023 annual average to date is $5,958.04.
If you're on our mobile marketing list and receive our text messages, you'll notice that we always ask for sale attendees to send us any feedback that they have that they'd like us to read on this morning's podcast. And I think this was one of the most responded to sales that we've heard back from so far. Is that right, Jamie?
Yeah, the Millennium and the Horn Showcase, we got a really good response from people at both events.
Yeah, so let's read a few of those here. The first comment we got back was, I bought 2, very happy. The guys in the back were superb. Chase and Dan are really good as a team.
Another one is, we had a great time at the Millennium Futurity. Congratulations to everyone involved.
Another comment that came back as a text message was, first time to attend the Millennium and we are hooked. Met and visited breeders we have not ever met. Facility is top notch. Back crew did an amazing job. We will be back for sure and did a great job as well.
And finally, the last comment we got back was, good job, team. Great Millennium event.
All right, let's hop into some of the internet influence stats from Hired Hand Live. There was $23,450 of value added through internet bidding, 72 online bids, and 8 lots sold to 8 online buyers.
There were 55 registered internet bidders. The internet-only average was $2,931. 6,247 is the total views of consignments online.
All right, Jamie, so pop quiz for you from a fun fact from this weekend. How many different states do you think were covered with online bidders?
Oh gosh, I think as I was looking over that list, I think there were roughly somewhere between 15 to 20 different states. It was quite a variety this weekend.
So right in the middle there, 18 is the correct answer. And super exciting, I think, just to see the bidding spread out across the whole United States for this sale. I know that's something that, you know, Anne and everyone has to be super proud of as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's quite a few states.
All right. Should we wrap up the podcast here with the top 5 online sellers?
Yep.
All right. So you already heard a lot of these names earlier because they happen to also be some of the higher sellers or were mentioned in some of our sales stats. But the highest online seller was lot 21, M7 Top Becca, consigned by M7 Longhorns, and she sold for $4,250 to Theo Migos.
Coming in at number 2 was lot 14, M7 Hydro Shadow, consigned by M7 Longhorns. She sold for $4,000 to Walker Hands.
The third highest selling online lot was lot 15, Reese's Pieces, consigned by Hoosier Longhorns, and she sold for $3,500 to Cindy Boland.
At the number 4 slot was lot 26, CK Pretty Shy, consigned by Circle K Ranch. She sold for $3,400 to Omar Beeler.
And rounding out the list, the 5th highest selling online lot was lot number 4, LBR Desert Storm, consigned by Laid Back Ranch, and she sold for $2,800 to Mel Halverson.
One thing that maybe we should mention that we forgot to mention was that the 2024 sale catalog cover was also auctioned off, which is something I think they started doing this year, I believe. Shagoda's had it this year, but next year the cover will feature Mike and Callie Smith. They bought the cover, which they sell at the beginning of the sale before all the animals come in.
Nice. It'll be exciting to see what animal they decide to feature on there.
They have quite the herd, so it'll be fun.
Well, anything else you can think to add about the stats and just the event overall from this past weekend?
There's a bourbon tour that happens on Thursday before the sale. And I think everybody that has ever attended the bourbon tour, whether you like bourbon going in or you don't like bourbon going in, I think everybody leaves there with a different appreciation for bourbon. Some of the people that attended were talking about some of the fun little facts that they had given during the bourbon tour. And I think everyone always enjoys it. So I think they're going to continue it next year, so maybe reach out to Brett Krause. He seems to be the urban tour coordinator if you're interested in going.
Well, why don't you finish us off with information on the next sale that we'll be attending for Hired Hand Live, and we'll cover in our next Monday morning podcast.
Yep, so the next Hired Hand Live sale will be the Tall Grass Production Sale, which is happening November 16th at 6 p.m. in El Dorado, Kansas.
And just as a reminder to everyone listening, we'll be having our first Hired Hand Live sale kicking off November 1st. So be sure to go head over to Hired Hand Live on the 1st and check out those offerings from our customers.